Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Video Games, back with another really cool arcade game today that we thought we'd film a video of. This is actually a pinball machine, but those are in arcades too, so it counts as an arcade game, right? You can see all of our arcade games at lionsarcade.com. Today, we're going to look at a game we just got finished. This is Stern Pinball's 1978 Nugent pinball. So that can only mean one thing. Yes, folks, if you've never seen it, Ted Nugent had a pinball machine. Look at this glorious work of art here. This is Stern Pinball came around by buying Chicago Coin in the late 70s, and then they released Chicago Coin's last couple pinballs that Chicago Coin was working on, and then started making solid state games, digital games, which was all the rage, you know, at the time, 1978 and all. And Bally made a Kiss pinball machine, and Stern made the Nugent pinball machine. The Kiss one sold a lot better, but the Nugent one's pretty cool. So I'll show you a little bit of the cabinet art. This thing actually sold pretty well. We run into them quite often. That is Ted's favorite guitar, which is a Gibson. He was famous for playing. He is still famous for playing. TNT. So, had a really cool back glass. That picture, it's kind of stylized, but that's his Weekend Warriors album had that on the cover of it. That is him playing a guitar. That is also a gun. Boy, it doesn't get much cooler than that. So we went through this one and got it working pretty good. The Playfield's pretty cool. I like the artwork on it. This is Stern's kind of standard art on the apron here. And then you've got a nice looking guitar there in the center of the playfield. We've got three Teds here doing their thing. Right, and you can see that the guitar neck goes all the way up through the pop bumpers, which have a little bit of razzmatazz on them to make them look cooler. I wonder why just the left two do. Things that make you go, And then up at the top, so it's got all the plastics were pretty simple. They just put names of his songs and albums on it. So at the top it says Weekend Warriors, which was his new album at the time. So that the back glass is the Weekend Warriors album cover. Then here you've got Stranglehold. If you guys haven't heard Stranglehold, go ahead and stop my video. I give you permission. And go check out Stranglehold here on YouTube. It does not get any cooler than Stranglehold. If you like guitar songs, that's the one. Then over here you've got Cat Scratch Fever. I'm sure everybody's heard that. That plastic there's cracked a little bit. Sometimes whenever you've got a plastic right over the drop targets, the ball will hit it so violently that it'll, you know, hit the target at the plastic at the same time and crack it. So a lot of times on old machines, the plastics over the drop target will be cracked. And unfortunately, nobody has taken the time to make new Ted Nugent pinball plastics, which is a travesty, I think. And then here on the spinner, of course, it says TNT. One thing about spinners, every company did them kind of different, but after a while they figured out that as the thing spins, it does kind of a flip book type of thing. So if you put something on the back of it, like on this one it's just a circle, as it spins, it kind of makes this little effect where you see both things like on an old children's flip book. So I'll do it for you here. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, I just noticed too, look, they put the little explosion behind it too. So wow, that's pretty well thought out. Kudos to you, Mr. Designer. So not only do you see the TNT in the circle, but you see the explosion on the playfield behind it. It's kind of neat. Let's see how it looks from the front. See if we can get it to line up a little better. I guess that's how they meant it. All right, so cool. So there's the playfield. So over here it says Free for All, which was another one of his albums. And then Gonzo, which was a live album, I think. I think that's just one of his things. He says that a lot or something. And this was one of Stern's games that didn't have chimes anymore. It had a soundboard. But unfortunately, in 1978, just like on the Kiss pinball machine, they couldn't make anything that sounded even close to a rock guitar. So it's just beeps and boops and stuff like that. At the time, it was fairly advanced. 1978, this is before the speech. Any company was putting out games with speech or anything like that in it. And they certainly couldn't play part of one of his songs or anything. So it just beeps and boops and stuff like that. Which is a shame, because man, this thing would be awesome if it was playing some of his stuff. So that is Nugent. What I'll do is I'll get the tripod and I'll set it up and we'll film a couple games of it. See what you guys think. Alright. And that is what it looks like with the lights off. One thing about these videos that I film, we don't have the glass on it, so there's no reflection. But what that does is it makes all of the flippers and the coils and the kickers and everything really loud, because they're not muffled by the glass like they usually are. Usually you can't hear them quite as much as you can with the glass off, so ignore that. I've turned the sound way up, so I hope it's not too loud, but it'll give you an idea of how it sounds. Another thing about these early Stern games, they had the Stern SB100 soundboard in it, and it just makes beeps and boops, stuff like that. Well, the thing is, you can tune the things. There's these little knobs in there you can turn to make them higher pitched or lower pitched. But there's no record anywhere that I know of, or that I've been able to find, of what you should tune it to. Like, should this note be a C? Should this note be an E? So if you look at videos of these early Stern games, some of them you'll hear, and the chimes will be, or not the chimes, the sound effects will be real low, boop, 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 boop. And some of them it'll be really high, boop, 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 because nobody knows how you're supposed to tune them. And unless we can find like a really early video of somebody playing one or something, I don't know how we're going to be able to figure out if they're supposed to be high or low. Because you hear both. Some people say they remember them high, some people say they remember them low. So maybe back in the day everybody tuned them different, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But alright, we'll play a game and you can see what you think. This is Stern's Nugent, 1978, baby. Check that out. I got the lucky bounce off of the post between the flippers. When you get that saucer up there, you get to collect the bonus. Normally you just collect the bonus at the end of the ball. In each ball. I was trying to let it just, you can't quite see it in the camera, but there's a post right in the middle here. And so I was trying to let it just bounce off the post back up. That's a dangerous game to play. Oh, and again, to be fair to Stern, I know the sound ain't as cool as you would think from a Nugent game, but Nothing was any better at the time, really. I'm sure some people will reply and say, yes, there was, but not really. I mean, I guess some of the Williams stuff was, but Bally surely wasn't doing that much better. Oh, man. We'll try another one. The score was 78,000. That's not very good. Yeah. Get that bonus up there. Uh-oh. Nope. Oh! The beeps were quicker than the lights. I kind of like it. Oh! Let's read the instructions. Maybe I'll get a better score. It says pop bumper scores 1,000. Now I hope I got that set right with the dip switches, but it says pop bumper scores 1,000. Top and the center rollover score 100, and it lights the top right and left lanes for 9,000. So that would be this. There's a little button right here, and there's another one up at the top. Rollovers. Stationary target scores 5,000 and lights the return lanes. That's this bad boy all the way up here. Ball kick-out hole scores the lit value. Oh, they're saying, okay, so yeah, so whenever you get the saucer up there, you get the lit value, I guess, which would be the bonus. It lets you get the, because it says collect bonus. All right, upper 3 bank drop targets down score 6,000, and they multiply the bonus by the lit value. That's pretty cool. So up at the top there's a green light lit right now that says 2 times, and then there's a 3 times and a 5 times. So if you get all 3 of those, you get 6,000 points, and it'll give you double, triple, or 5 times whatever the bonus score is. Every 4th turn on the spinner advances the bonus. So if you make that sucker spin and the lights go all the way up, it makes your bonus start walking up the bonus ladder on the guitar there. Spinner lights when bonus reaches 10,000. So if you get the 10,000 lit, it lights up the spinner so that says spinner scores 1,000 when lit. So every time it flips around, it gives you 1,000 points. Left side 3 bank drop target down scores 10,000 points. Those are those over there. The other one did 6,000, remember. It says the second time it's down, it lights the extra ball lane. So the extra ball lane would be, oh, I think I do not see the extra ball lane. There is a shot, if you look behind that flipper, if you lift that flipper by using this flipper, you can actually shoot the ball past it back into the return lane, which is kind of a hard shot. Maximum 1 extra ball per ball in play. Special scores 1 replay, and then whenever you tilt it, it disqualifies the ball in play only. So basically, hit as many targets as possible. Boy, that's a good one up there. Oh, man. I was robbed. I always forget that flipper's up there. I want to try to make that weird shot behind it. Oh. Oh, they got me. All right, one last game, folks. Oh. They didn't even give me a free ball. Come on now. If you don't score any points, they're supposed to give you a free ball. Actually, they did give me a free ball. Sweet. Oh, come on now. All right, there it is, folks. So there you have it. 1978 Stearns Nugent. By the time you see this video, Uncle Ted here, the Detroit City Madman, probably won't be here anymore because these things usually sell pretty quick. But maybe we'll have something else that you're interested in. You can check out our website, lionsarcade.com, and see all the games we have in at the moment. We usually have a lot more arcade games than pinball machines, but we do get pinball machines. Or you can stop by and see us in person. We have a shop. We're open every day except Sunday, and we're open from 11 to 8. We're in downtown Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is about 15 minutes south of Charlotte, North Carolina. And stop by. We've got a showroom here. We've got all kinds of stuff, usually 40 or 50 games at a time. So we'll see you soon. We'll bring you another cool video right away.